Hello and welcome to the Buzzerbeater Show, episode 95. My name is Alfred Jones, and today we are going to talk about the big elephant in the room, the Sixers, and the not the New York Jets. What am I talking? The Brooklyn Nets. So, if you haven't noticed it and you're living under a rock, the Brooklyn Nets traded away James Harden for Ben Simmons and Steph Curry. So, first of all, what happened? So, first of all, James Harden and Joel Embiid are on the same team. So, that means basically, I don't really know what's going to happen, but I think this could be like a pick and roll type of thing. Which, I don't know if Joel Embiid is really willing to do that, but I really don't know, bro. Like the pick and roll, I don't really know if Joel Embiid is into that stuff. Like if he's willing to just say, all right, I'll do the pick and roll. I'll do the pick and roll. That's completely fine. I don't know if KSI. I don't know if Joel Embiid is that type of guy, bro. Like, Joel Embiid is a really good player. And he's in the run for the MVP conversation. But I don't know if he can reduce his role and then pretty much lose, I guess, the chance of winning MVP. But I think in his mind, it's more determined to win. So he would probably take the lesser role. And I mean, he has to take a lesser role either way. But I think he's more willing to take the lesser role to win a championship, because the last couple of games he had a high turnover rate. It's not because he's playing bad or something. It's just because his teammates are not willing to step up, bro. Like, no cap, he's just sitting there. Like, some players, like Steph Curry, is like, he's a really good three-point shooter, but sometimes he's just, I don't know, he doesn't really have the consistency sometimes. And then Joel Embiid is all by himself and can't really do much. But now he has somebody who's actually willing to step up. And that guy's name is James Harden. I mean, the Joel Embiid, the Sixers are right now in a completely different spectrum. What this is, they're now completely in a championship conversation because of this trade. This trade has changed a lot. So, the Brooklyn Nets with Steph Curry and Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, like, I know there are a lot of people, like, doubting the Nets right now. I've already doubted them because, but what I don't get is, you try to get so much for James Harden, and then you just trade him away? Like, this guy got traded last year, and you just trade him away? I mean, I know it didn't really work and stuff and blah, but I mean, I don't really, like, I think the smartest guy in this thing was probably Daryl Morey, the GM of the 76ers. You know what he did? He just waited until the Nets, he wanted to have James Harden in the first place. But then he just said to himself, nah, bro, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait until James Harden actually wants to get out of Brooklyn. And I don't really think that James Harden was absolutely interested in the Sixers. But then he went to the Nets, and I think Daryl Morey actually knew what was going to happen. Because the Nets are not the big bad wolf anymore in this scenario. The big bad wolf is probably the 76ers? I don't know. Like, do you think, like, did anybody expect this, like, 2 years ago? That Joel Embiid and James Harden were in the same team? No, of course not. Like, completely different types of people. One guy in Joel Embiid is very outspoken. James Harden is also outspoken, but not as much. Really, also, like, I don't know, like, Joel Embiid gives me more of the competitive, stay loyal to your team vibe that James Harden doesn't really give, but I don't know. And just completely different players. But also, I think so different that they comprehend each other. Like, these two guys are actually perfect. Like, James Harden can shoot threes. Not so good this year because he's getting out of his flow. That's the only problem I have with this trade for the 76ers. James Harden and the new rules. He still hasn't adapted fully yet. If they want to win now, which I think is the thing, because James Harden could be like a ticking time bomb and just explode any minute. But I think James Harden could be... sorry. James Harden could... He could... I don't know. He could talk, like, he's so, I don't know, he can just decide any minute, like, oh yeah, I don't like this at all, because he has a big inflated ego, but the only thing is he has a big inflated ego, but doesn't really have anything to back it up, except for an MVP. Which, for me, I would say, alright, great, but how come Joel Embiid has still not, James Harden has still not won a championship yet? And I don't want to say anything, bro, but being a superstar, I would say that Joel Embiid is a superstar. Being a superstar and playing with James Harden can be toxic as fuck, bro. That guy could just say, yeah, I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here. I don't care about this shit. Like, that's the type of player James Harden is. He can just say, bye. You know why? Because he has the ego. He has anybody never told him no in his NBA career. Recently, at least. That with OKC, that was a different thing. But he has a big ego. But the only problem is he doesn't really have anything to back it up. He also looks very not that confident sometimes. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Right. I wanted to talk about the Nets side of this. So they got Ben Simmons. What do you make of Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons is definitely a player that can be very inconsistent. Especially what goes on in the playoffs. But I don't want to talk him down yet. Because that wouldn't be fair. He just got there. I don't know. I don't even know if he's willing to play for the Nets yet. I don't know. It's like... It's very... The future of Ben Simmons seems to be very foggy and not that clear. You know what I mean? I don't know, bro. Like this seems sometimes to be very, 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 very weird because Ben Simmons is a type of player where you would say like, oh yeah, he has all the attributes, but he's not really willing to develop those attributes. And the problem with that is that you would say, oh yeah, I want to do an attribute thing. I want to improve that all day. But he's for some reason he has both James Harden and him have giant egos, and they're not willing to change what made them great. Although they probably should change it because that creates a winning culture. But they're not willing to do that. You know what I mean? And for me, that just for me that I would say that turns a lot of people the wrong way. And you could see it in both the guys' performance. They have great regular seasons. Playoffs, James Harden has also been good. But sometimes it's just not enough. James Harden has never made the finals before. Neither has Ben Simmons. Both these guys can sometimes be very, 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 very bad in the playoffs. Especially Ben Simmons. James Harden can also be, but not necessarily. It's just... It doesn't really look that good. Like, for Ben Simmons, maybe he's changing his thing now because he's with a different team. I don't know. I hope so, because that would be the thing where he would probably finally win a championship with. But I don't know. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Speaking of this trade deadline, bro, this trade deadline has been crazy. The Portland Trail Blazers traded away CJ McCollum. Some other guys. Wait. And for return, CJ McCollum trade. Oh wait, here we go. Here, so traded away CJ McCollum and right, Larry Nance Jr. and Tony Snell, and the Blazers get Josh Hart, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Thomas Sternuksky, Didi Lazalia, and the first round pick from the 2020 Pelicans between the 5th and the 14th pick. And the second round pick. So, for me, I don't really get why they didn't trade Dame too, because if they want to rebuild, I guess that's what they're doing. But they want to rebuild around Damian Lillard. Which for me, first of all, Damian Lillard is not getting younger. He's still loyal to his team. Right now he's injured. I don't want to say he's not getting bad or something. It's just it would be smarter to trade him to at least like pay back the loyalty that he gave to you. You know what I mean? Because that should make no sense, bro. That should make no sense. Because I don't know what Portland is doing. I don't know why. This is just a weird trade, bro. I mean, it makes a lot of sense for the Pelicans because now they can surround Zion actually with players like for instance CJ McCollum, which could yet again be great for the pick and roll or easy lobs to Zion because CJ McCollum is a pretty good ball handler. And it makes a lot of sense for the Portland Trail Blazers, for the Pelicans, but not really for the Blazers. Like, I don't really get it, but what can you do, bro? The Knicks. Fuck, bro. We won last night against Golden State, but my hopes and dreams are gone, bro. Them making the playoffs, they lost against the Jazz like in absolutely embarrassing fashion, bro. That was bad. Like, oh my god, bro. They played the Jazz. They lost but they won against the Warriors? Bro, the Jazz are not even like a complete... Like, I would have thought, like... I don't know, like, but beginning of the season, I even thought sometimes the Knicks would actually, even with the new things the new stars they acquired, they would actually be maybe even close to the Jazz. But now they had lost this bad. The Knicks are well below 500. And I don't really see them coming back because road trip, they have only won. I think this Golden State game was the only game they won, right? No, they won one more. I forgot which team, but bro, this is just not good, bro. You know, I'm gonna be a Knicks fan for life. There's nothing you can do about it. Not one single thing. Because... But it just seems like the same thing was with Patrick Ewing. He just didn't come up in clutch moments. I think it's just the pressure of this town, like the city, that destroys players. It's the same thing over and over again. But I'm still going to be a Knicks fan because I'm going to stay loyal to the franchise, although the franchise is sometimes very just is out of complete assholes. Talking about you, Isaiah Thomas, who have inflated egos, although they don't really have anything to back it up. I mean, this front office is alright, but... Bro, you can't rely on somebody... Like, I love Julius Randle, bro. I love him. But... something's just gone, bro. He's back. No, he's not even back to his old self. Like, his old self was like a black hole. Now he's just passive, bro. He went from one extreme to another. And I hope this will end soon and maybe a turnaround, but that's I don't really see. And the Knicks actually being better next year. Which is like, oh, there's always next year. But I'm also tired of this, oh, there's always next year bullshit. Because I'm like, to myself, I think like, alright, yeah, there's next year. But the Knicks are still not winning games, bro. Like, and how do you want to win with a culture that is absolutely all over the place? Last year, the culture was stronger than ever. Like, it was for me like, oh my god, bro, we have found a team that we can actually rebuild with. Now it's just like, what the fuck is happening, bro? Like, I don't want to get too exaggerated or something. But what is happening right now is just straight out embarrassing, bro. Like, losing against teams like Orlando. Bro, that's just not good. I mean, I get a road trip. A road trip is tough, but I don't know, bro. I really don't know. And I thought the game winner of RJ Barrett against Boston would actually bring like a spark or something, but it just hasn't, bro. It just hasn't. So, if you like this podcast, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, of course, and I'll see you all next time. Peace!